it way back. James on with the range, OB nigga way back. Homie stars switching lanes, I thought we went way back, way back.
Alright, so what is up everybody on YouTube? This is of course Bullet RC, and I'm coming to you guys again with yet another video, and this time we're going to be talking about Travis's new album, Birds in the Trap, Sing Mcknight, Through the Flames up in the background. And also, since I'm not going to be able to do, or I just don't really want to do a full album review on Blonde now, I feel like it's a little bit late. We're going to talk about Blonde in this too, but after we get done talking about Travis. A few of you guys were asking me to talk about Isaiah Rashad's album. I have not listened to that yet. Also the Ray Schmurder album. I listened to that one. It's just a party album in my opinion. I don't really need to go deep into it. Black Beatles is fire. But like I said, this would be my thoughts on Travis's latest drop. Your local neighborhood Travis Scott stan is in the building now, and he's about to give his opinion. Also, Travis did say that if you guys bought the album, I'm assuming physical copy, you guys can get a free piece of merch. So I'm watching out on TravisScott.com. Nothing has dropped yet. So just letting you know, if you're looking for merch, just be looking out on TravisScott.com or follow the man on Twitter. And you know, he tweets on and off, you know what I'm saying, if you need the updates. So the first track, The Ends, I'm not like the biggest fan of this track, you know, compared to all the other tracks on it. Travis just sounds to be really sounding triumphant, you know what I'm saying, just saying he's reached a certain status, he's past everybody. He says 2020 vision, can't see none of you niggas. Like, I'm just past all that, you know what I'm saying. I'm on to bigger and better things. And really what surprised me, because I didn't really get a chance to look at the features or anything like that, I kind of tried to stay off of Twitter and like have the album, I don't want to say spoiled for me, but I just wanted to stay off of Twitter. I only went on when people were tweeting at me about Dot Wave playing the album. I woke up late, but then Birds dropped at like 20, maybe even 5 minutes after I posted that I had missed the Dot Wave stream. Like I was saying, the most surprising thing about this song was Andre 3000's verse, and he rapped about something I had no clue on, you know what I'm saying. I wasn't born in that age. It was apparently in Atlanta between 1979 and 1981 there were 28 child murders, and Andre grew up in these times. He kind of raps about thinking about it, having vivid memories of it, wishing he could forget it. And it was just a really out of nowhere verse. I mean, we've seen Andre pop up on Frank's latest album, we've seen Andre pop up on Travis's album. Now all we need Andre to do is drop another solo album, or even an Outkast album would be dope in my opinion. Now the second track on this album, Way Back, has to be one of my top 3 songs on this. I really like the hook. I like Swizz's. I'm assuming Swizz has something to do with the production. Also Kid Cudi is on this, and that's another running theme I really like with this album, is that I myself am a huge Kid Cudi fan. Travis is a huge Kid Cudi fan, so for him to have Travis on this album, and which we'll get into, kind of remake Day and Night, was a crazy moment in the album, but we're gonna get to that later. On Way Back, I just feel like there's a lot of energy. The beat is crazy, and what I'm gonna make sure I do every time before I do any reviews is listen to these songs, the album, in my car. The car sounds way different than headphones, and yo, Way Back is like, when the beat drops on that and it just starts moving, like, that song is crazy. One of my top 3 songs. If you haven't paid too much attention to that song, just the production, the beat switch ups. I don't really go into Travis's music about like really listening to lyrics and think I'm gonna hear some crazy bars. I go into it thinking I'm gonna hear about Travis or something that Travis has done or his life or something like that. So he has a line about not believing what you see on the TV, you know, mainstream media, stuff I've heard before, so it wasn't really nothing new, but the song itself is fire. Like listen to it, just listen to that one. On Coordinate, this was one of those songs that I wasn't really feeling at first. You got Black Youngsta in the intro basically just yelling a whole bunch of like shit, basically just yelling a whole bunch of shit. Then you got Travis coming in, and I mean, I like the song, but it's not one of my favorites. I feel like maybe with a few more listens I'll dig it a little bit more. Next up we have Through the Late Night, and this is one of my favorite tracks on the album. Like I said before, the feature with Kid Cudi with Travis Scott, like making Day and Night, not making Day and Night over again, but Day and Night was the first song I ever heard from Kid Cudi. And just for them to go back and kind of like retool that song a little bit with, of course, more of Travis's direction, or maybe more of Travis leading the song, I thought that was really dope. And I really like this song for that fact that matter, that I know Travis is a huge fan, almost to say Kid Cudi is one of his idols, and to maybe get on that level to have your idol on a song and remake one of his biggest songs ever, it was just crazy. Like, I just thought that was a really dope collaboration. As a Kid Cudi fan and as a Travis fan, this was definitely a standout for me on the album. One of my favorite songs just for the meaning of it, just the standing of it, and just for that collaboration coming together. Dope song, I really liked it. Next track we got Biebs in the Trap, and this one features Nav. Now I'm not too familiar with Nav myself. I think he did a good job on the song. I think he works into the song well. This is really about chicks snorting coke, you know, drugs and shit. Like chicks and drugs, you know, regular Travis stuff. And I feel like the ad-lib, the ad-lib really carries the Travis's like verse. When it comes in, when he says yeah, it brings the beat back in like every time. And I don't know why, but I love when he says white bitch, she thick, because all I can think, it just works well, the flow, the way it sounds with the song. But every time he says it, I can't help but think of Yes Jules. Like, white bitch, she thick, Yes Jules. I mean, that makes sense to me at least. Then we got the SDP interlude. This one doesn't really need too much explanation. Smoke some, drink some, pop one, smoking, drinking, popping pills. Has a Cassie feature on it, not a bad interlude. It goes into like this weird, like, I don't know, like echoey party scene, or Travis is talking to some chick. I don't know what's going on really. I can't really decipher what's going on. But yeah, that's the interlude. I mean, it is what it is. Now this track is my favorite track on the album, and honestly I was sleeping on it for a bit. I like heard it and I remembered parts of the song, but I kept going back to way back, like over and over again. And then I like moved over to Sweet Sweet. And the reason is, I think the beat, I like the flow, I like the song, I like the hook. This is a song where somebody pulls up next to me at the stoplight and I'm looking mad crazy because I'm just in the car moving. I'm in the car like Bob, and I look over to my left, people just look at me like, what is going on? Like, this is a song I blasted throughout the night when I listened to it. Like, I kept playing the song over and over again, hopefully not killing it for myself, but Sweet Sweet is my favorite song on the album. If you guys have been sleeping on that one, definitely peep Sweet Sweet. I'm telling you, one of the dopest songs on the album. One of. Next track is Outside, and I'm not like the biggest fan of this one. I don't know. When I was listening to it, he kept saying we outside, we ain't going in. He said it so many times. I was like, Travis, all right, bro, we get it. You're outside. You're not going into wherever it is. Like, I get it. Like, can you please move on? I don't know. And then out of nowhere, here, 21. And once you hear that, you already know 21 Savage was on the track. Now, I'm not the hugest 21 Savage fan, but if you guys don't know a lot of information on the guy, I can't do nothing but respect him. Because that man, from what I've heard, I watched a few interviews, especially the Breakfast Club interview with him, and I was like, yo, that dude has been through a lot. So I just respect 21. He might not be my favorite artist, and he comes to us on the song with his regular content and just straight savage rap, you know, fucking killer rap shit basically. And I mean, hey, do your thing, 21, do your thing. But this song was just okay. Next track is Goosebumps with a feature from Kendrick Lamar, which I really wasn't like, I didn't expect a Kendrick Lamar verse at all on this album, but he comes through. Now, he doesn't deliver any kind of crazy bars or nothing like that, but what I do like is that he uses that voice, like, you know how Kendrick like alters his voice. He talks about putting a pussy on a pedestal, and I don't know, it's like that just sticks with you. It's like that weird voice. It's like, this is Kendrick Lamar sounding like this, but we've heard it before, but every time you hear it, it just, he puts a little different spin on it. So all in all, not a bad track. Then we have First Take, which is one of the best songs on the album for sure, with a feature from Bryson Tiller that works great. The beat works extremely well for Bryson and Travis, and this is a track as if your girl is not a big Travis fan, you got Bryson Tiller to back it, so you ain't really gotta worry about it, you know what I'm saying? All in all, I like the production on this one. I like Bryson's feature. This is just an all-around great track. Definitely peep that one. And then we had Pick Up the Phone. I'm pretty sure I already talked about this track. It's an alright track. I feel like Young Thug probably has a better verse, and Quavo. I kind of wish there was more Travis on this one. I feel like they kind of pulled that song together more than Travis, but it is what it is. It's an okay track. It's a single that we heard before, so I don't really need to get too into that one. Then we got Lose, and this one is all about basically Travis getting to a point in his life where he can't fuck up. Basically, it's like he has all these things, he has all these opportunities. It's high stakes at this point. Like, he has to keep it moving. He can't fuck up and lose everything that he's gotten. And also, this one has a feature from Cassie once again, kind of just talk about him riding with the crew and his girl or whoever that might be, not really like, you know, messing with what they do or the people he hangs around, but it is what it is. Like, that's just what Travis is gonna do. So I like this song. It's not overly complicated, but I like the beat. I like how it sounds in my car, so this is a good track. And wrapping this up, the last two tracks, since one is Wonderful and it was a feature song, I like that song, and since I've had so much time away from it, I kind of like haven't been listening to it. It's kind of like reignited the fire for that song, so I really like Wonderful. I always thought that was a good track with The Weeknd, and I feel like it works to just go ahead and end this one off. And the next track is Guidance, and I don't know what it is. I'm not the biggest fan of like the dance hall kind of feel in music. I'm trying to like warm up to it ever since Drake did his rendition with Rihanna, and then Rihanna does her thing. I'm warming up to it, you know what I'm saying? I'm seeing that it's gonna be a thing. And I really like this track on Travis's album. It's a really like departure from everything else, and it just sounds like when it came on, I was like, what is this? It's like it's that dance hall shit again. But I actually liked it, you know what I'm saying? I gave it a break. I gave the dance hall stuff a break, and I liked it, you know what I'm saying? So those are my thoughts on Birds in the Trap, Sing Mcknight, a fire album with the fire background. Travis, you done it again, man. From the Travis Scott Stand in Your Neighborhood, I love the album, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be listening to it for time to come, man. I still listen to Rodeo, I still listen to Owl Pharaoh, I still listen to Days Before Rodeo. A lot of people are trying to compare all of them, and I feel like with an artist there's always some type of progression that maybe we may not see. We aren't musical artists, not all of us at least, and we don't make music, so there might be little ticks or something that they really wanted to set out to do on the album that was different from the last. So I don't know what that is on this album. To me, it sounds like a continuation. It doesn't sound, I mean, of course it has that rodeo feel, but I don't think it has that rodeo theme as much as, of course, Rodeo did. But I like both Rodeo and Birds. I'm not gonna put one over the other. I feel like they're two sides of the same beast. So with the Birds review done, let's talk really quickly about Frank Ocean's Blonde. I haven't spent a lot of time with Endless, honestly, because I was watching the live stream and all the music sounded like it was background. It literally sounded like background music. It wasn't like, you could distinguish what it was, but it just, I don't know. It's like I just didn't spend time with it because I wanted to hear those songs. I wanted to hear those songs in full like we heard with Blonde. Track by track by track. I don't want it to be background music to Frank building a staircase. Like, I get it. It's some artsy thing. It's an art thing, but I wasn't getting it. Maybe it's just because I just couldn't see the deeper meaning of Frank Ocean building stairs in an empty warehouse with his album or whatever the music is playing. I didn't get it, but I enjoy the music. I mean, hey, artists, do your art, man, do your art. My overall thoughts on Blonde, just because there has been such a hiatus from Frank, and there was just such a long wait from Channel Orange. I love Channel Orange. My favorite song from Channel Orange was Pyramids, and I listened to that song, I want to say I listened to Pyramids at least 500 times strong. All right, when I say solid or strong, that means 500 plus. And with this new album, I feel like it's another great album. I feel like it's a masterful album, and I think the great thing about Frank's music is that since he is of, I guess, I'm not gonna say it's allegedly he's bi or gay or whatever the case may be, when he sings about certain people or sings about certain situations, you kind of can insert your own endings. When he raps or sings about a certain love affair, it can be whatever you want it to be. I mean, that's with anybody's music, but really with Frank's, he kind of just sits back, he tells you the basic story around it, and you fill in the gaps. You put the people there, and you place either the guy or the girl or whoever that may be in that story. And overall, Frank's voice on every song, with the exception of, I think it was Lanx or Ivy, where he does that weird like voice modification, I wasn't really a big fan, but Frank just sounds good, man. Like, he can sing, and that's what really drives the album, is the instrumentation, the songs. And I feel like if you're not willing to listen to it, it might not be the album for you. Like, I was talking to my girl and she was just like, what is he even talking about? Like, I don't have time to sit through this. Of course she doesn't. So he was like, I don't have time to sit through this and think of the deeper meaning, so this isn't really an album for me. And I feel like that's true. If you can't sit through Frank's Blonde, really listen to it and really kind of like take it all in, because there's so many features. From the Andre 3000 feature was really dope, and it's just a lot. It's a lot of songs, and there's just a lot of ideas and a lot of stuff across, and I feel like it's a great album to come back to Frank with. My two favorite songs on this album have to be Future or Free. I like Siegfried, and I also like, I said two, now I'm counting more, and Nights. Nights is definitely one of my favorite songs. I really like that weird Facebook interlude where the guy's talking about this girl who he's in front of all the time, and they broke up, or she got really mad because he wouldn't friend her on Facebook. and she thought he was cheating, and he just couldn't really like understand, like, yo. And it was just kind of one of those songs about how people, you know, value social media and stuff like that. Like, this girl, if he wasn't her friend on Facebook, obviously he didn't love her, or he's cheating on her, which made no fucking sense. And it's something that I don't want to say I can relate to, but as someone with a social media following and being in a relationship, let me tell you, that is something that comes up. I'm not gonna go into my fucking personal details, just know it's a thing. Overall, Frank Ocean's Blonde is another masterpiece album from Frank. Thank you, Frank. I appreciate you honestly just dropping it finally. Just don't make us wait as long next time. We were getting restless for the new album, man. We were getting real restless. But those were my thoughts on both Frank Ocean and Travis Scott's latest albums. You can leave yours down below. Like I said before, Travis said that if you buy a physical album, you should get a free piece of merch, so just follow him on Twitter and be looking out for that. Both are great albums. I'm loving Birds, I'm loving Blonde. It's just a good year for music, man. It's a lot of music releasing, and you know what I'm saying, just catch up, man, because it's so much stuff releasing, it's just hard to keep up sometimes. Anyways, that is it. Much love to all the fam, followers, and of course supporters. You guys can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat. The Snapchat is bull.cb, by the way. Here, there, blase blah, and everywhere else at bull.rc. And I'm gonna see you guys in the next video. If you liked the video, definitely leave a thumbs up, leave an opinion down below. And yeah, I tried to improve my review from last time. I know I went song by song again, but I try to be more concise. Y'all be easy. Peace.